Apparently we're live. Hey, welcome. We got to start when we go live. We got to start setting it up like hours in it. We got to like do like a 30-minute to let people, you know. But
file up in.
yeah, but people usually come in and then leave. So, but we'll give them a minute right now. Actually, we don't gotta do much. I need to go here and get y'all set up.
I fucking hate the media, man. I fucking hate the media. The mainstream media. I just wanted to go on record as saying I hate the fucking mainstream media.
Yeah.
Oh my mama, I hate them. I hate them.
Title say
And then
something.
ever since I read Manufacturing Consent, I
Mhm.
really hate them.
Yeah, I told man, bro. Like after I read that, I was like, yeah, I'm not fucking with the media
Because you
anymore.
just see the bullshit now. Like,
You can see it like the Matrix.
because Chomsky made it so easy,
Mm-hmm.
and he used so much good data just to back up what he's talking about. But then you actually can see them doing that shit, and it's cold blooded. Cold blooded.
Invite friends. We're gonna invite friends. That's what we do. We invite our friends to the party. Don't be tardy to the party, y'all.
Don't invite me, shit.
Why not? Then you can share it.
Oh yeah,
Make it easy. We make it easy. We are we are about to talk about some shit, man. It's gonna be fun. We got a lot to talk about tonight.
they're already doing a "Where Are They Now" on this dude and this dude. This is LeAngelo Ball.
Yeah.
This dude is
The Red Rocket. He's in college right now. He balling. He
yeah,
plays for like Arizona or something.
he's a baller.
Yeah, he ain't
Yeah,
doing.
where are they now? Last year he was one of the top
He ain't
3
doing-
guards in the nation.
He ain't doing too bad. He ain't doing too bad.
A baller.
Yo, what's good, y'all? So check this out. So we about to get into the polls. We're gonna talk about the debate last night. Did anybody watch the debate? I hope everybody watched the debate last night. It was interesting to say the least.
The gloves are off.
Yeah, the gloves.
Let's just say that off top. The gloves are off. And if you're into, if you didn't watch the other debates because you were kind of concerned that the candidates weren't really like going at each other, well, and in the words of Lil Wayne, they're going in.
Yeah, they went in last night. It was interesting. Bloomberg got touched, obviously, but we could get in a little bit to who the winners and the losers were. But first, what was your biggest takeaway from the debate?
My biggest takeaway from the debate is that the Democratic Party is desperate to disparage Bernie Sanders in some way to kind of change as many voters' minds as they can, and that they've got nothing.
They got nothing.
That's my biggest takeaway. They've got nothing. When you start talking about the people, followers, voters, when you start talking about stuff that's not really real, the behavior of people you can't control, like Bernie Sanders is supposed to be controlling other grown men and women on the internet, and that's what you got. I've never heard in any presidential debate, I've never heard any candidate having to take responsibility for the demeanor or the behavior of voters, U.S. voters, and how they act in support of him. And so that's how I know you've really got nothing. It equated to a ad hominem attack.
No, it really was, because the thing is that there's no way, even though they're okay. So they tried to attack Bernie on his voters, right, and how his voters attack people or make people feel uncomfortable or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. It was literally like a personal thing because they felt attacked. It's not like he's like his supporters are going around and just attacking everybody willy-nilly. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody has the same exchanges with them because not everybody says the same things about about Bernie Sanders as the media does.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or about, not everybody is lying about Bernie Sanders.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some people have a genuine disagreement. with his policies or whatever. I'm talking about voters. For the most part, you have the right to feel however you want to feel about any candidate or about their proposals. And I don't think most people would argue. You know what I mean? Like most people are like, yeah, that's you're well within your rights to feel like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is that with the media and with these politicians, they're disingenuous,
right?
And they're lying, and it's really serious for a lot of people, right? A lot of people are dying. A lot of people are starving. A lot of people aren't making enough money. A lot of people want to start a family and they can't because they're strapped with student loan debt. You know what I mean? A lot of people can't afford to live in a home, right? They can't buy a home or anything like that. They're living at home with their parents and they want to start a family. They want to get married or whatever. All of these things are happening. And then you have somebody come in that is not being an honest actor and attacking the candidate that is fighting for those things to help you to get, reach those goals, right? To get a better paying job, to live somewhere that's affordable, to, you know what I mean, to get your student loan debt paid off, to get your health care so you don't go bankrupt, so on and so forth, speaking to you, right, in a very genuine way,
mm-hmm.
and you believe that they're going to fight for you, and then you have these like I said, you have these dishonest actors coming out and attacking them with nothing. Like it's not like they have a real a substantive disagreement. You know what I'm saying? That they could be like, look, man, this is why I disagree with Bernie Sanders. This is why I disagree with his policies. This is why I think they would be bad for the country and the world by and large, right? And then giving you like data to support that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what's happening. They're just saying like Chris Matthews, oh, he's gonna drag me out to Central Park and shoot me. Like you know what I'm saying?
Why you?
Like, why you? Like, what did you do?
Well, he was basically saying that if the Cubans would have won the Cold War, that's what he said, that he would have been executed in Central Park with other, I guess,
wealthy people. He basically talking about wealthy
journalists
that were lying,
journalists that were on the losing side. Maybe he felt like he was going to be one of those patriots, or the way that his position on it, where he would not be able to stand idly by while communism took over the country. He would have been shot as a dissenter.
That is ridiculous to say the least.
Absolutely.
And people like that, maybe they need to be. No, I'm just playing. But people like that, like you could see why a person who is like, dude, like this is serious, they would get mad at that person. You would see why they would feel some type of way. And being a Bernie Sanders supporter and supporting these policies, even more importantly, over Bernie Sanders, but just being an ardent supporter of these policies, mm-hmm. Medicare for all, healthcare for student loan debt relief, even though I don't have any student loan debt. My wife doesn't have any student loan debt, but
I do, and my wife does.
Yeah, but I want you and your wife to get the debt relief.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You guys deserve, right? And also in a selfish way, I want you to do it too, because I know that that's going to infuse billions of dollars into the economy.
Right.
If people aren't burdened with billions of dollars of debt, people are going to spend their money. One thing Americans want to do is we want to spend our money, right? We're the largest group of consumers on the face of the planet. So we want to spend our money, but we can't right now. We're spending our money going out to eat. We're spending our money on these like little things, but we can't go out and buy. Like I sell cars. I want to sell you a car, right? I know tons of people that I got a buddy right now. He makes almost 6 figures. He can't afford to buy a car. He literally is like, dude, I'm paying for a car. I want to not have this car that I have, but I can't afford to get out of it because he has student loan debt. I'll be paying off student loan debt to the day I die. He has $250,000 in student loan debt
just to make $100,000.
Just to make $100,000.
That's insane.
You know, he's already
and his interest payments are probably going crazy, about $20,000-$30,000 a year.
Yeah,
interest.
So and he's already in his 30s. It ain't like he's 22 years old. He's making $90,000. It's like, man, you got your whole life ahead of you. Like he's already in his 30s. Like so you know, if he's even by the time he's 40, if he's making $150,000, $200,000, if he's lucky, mm-hmm. you know, he's still going to be in debt. So these issues are important. They affect people. Helping the homeless affects people. We want the homeless off the street. Like I can spin this in many different ways, right? Mm-hmm. So I just was engaging with a person right now online, and they were saying like if the system is working for me, why would I want to fix it, right? Which my initial reaction was like, because you have empathy, you know what I'm saying? Like you should have empathy
right
for other people. But okay, beyond that, right? Like I can spin this and say and show you how even if you lack empathy, why you should care, right? So like I just said, I sell cars. I want people to be able to buy more cars. I know that if everybody has more money, then the likelihood of me making more money goes up, right?
Right.
So that's what I'm like. Being selfish, I can look at it like that now.
That's the thing. First of all, thank you guys for coming in. If you're coming in, hit the like button, and if you could just share it for us, we'd appreciate it for you. Meme knowledge, we're gonna come in with some great stuff for you. But we've been trying the top-down economy since Reagan and before even.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's not working for people. It's time for us to try a bottom-up economy. Let's give people their money back and let them do it. You know what's so funny is that a libertarian will tell me that taxation is theft because they want to be able to do whatever they can with their money or do whatever they want with their money.
Yeah.
However, when we talk about social programs that help people keep more of their money, libertarians seem like they have a problem with it. It's almost like they contradict themselves.
You know, in a way, because if it starts with being taxed, then automatically right there, that idea is dead in the water to them. If it starts with a tax, then they're like, oh, I don't want that.
But people are sitting at their table though. They're not thinking about tax. They're thinking about net,
which I think we should be thinking net. We shouldn't be. Who cares? The thing I don't understand about people who fight against who bang against paying more taxes is this. Why does it matter? How is it that in your mind you're okay with paying more in taxes, right? You're okay with paying. You're okay. You're against paying more in taxes, but you're okay with being raped by corporations. Like we've been brainwashed to the point to where we're okay with the corporations for raping us. We're okay with corporations buying up the property
and making record profits,
buying up the property, jacking up the rent, which also makes it hard for you and I to just buy a home if they're buying up the property cash, right? Like if we come in with our little HOA loan with our 8% or our 3% down,
it'd be like there's a cash offer on
there's a cash offer on the table, you're screwed. You can't or you got to overpay for a home because they came in for the low. They can get it for the low for cash, right? Because they don't want to go through the sellers don't want to go through escrow and right? So it affects you in a myriad of ways. The thing that's crazy about it is that we have been taught to accept corporations taxing the fuck out of us.
Right.
That's okay for a corporation to tax your ass every fucking which way, right? You pay if they jack up your healthcare and they want to make your healthcare go up, then so be it. You got to pay that. There's nothing you can do about that.
Right.
You're going to pay more in healthcare, right? If they want to, if milk prices go up and you got to drink your milk, you're fucked. You gotta pay for the milk. Right. Gas prices go up. We're producing a record amount of oil right now, right? In this world, we have a ton of oil. We're the high America specifically. We're not even dependent on any other country anymore for our oil, right? But yet and still, our oil prices are $4 a gallon, $3.50, damn near $5.
over $100 a barrel. Still,
why? Why do they get to hold us over the barrel? You know what I'm saying, so to speak. Like we are okay with that. We just chalk that up to, well, that's business.
You know what, Prince? I see the taxation is theft signs out there. I never see the rising healthcare premiums is theft. Yeah, I never see that.
Yeah.
And I cannot remember a year where healthcare premiums didn't go up during the enrollment period. Yep. Everybody, if you have private health insurance right now, you guys can hit us in the comment section. Has there been a year where during the enrollment period, your health insurance premiums didn't go up? Just think about it. Your premiums go up every year. And so, but I've never heard anyone complain maybe a person that's saying it's too much, but I've never heard anybody complain about, well, healthcare premiums are theft. I heard taxation is theft, though.
Yeah.
The government can't get any money. And let me just set the record straight on that really quick. I'll be really brief, okay? Because I know it's not what the show's about.
No, that's okay.
But these taxation is theft people, if you were one of those libertarian type people that think that the government should stop taxing people, you've lost your mind. The only reason your money is worth what it's worth is because you can pay taxes with it. If the government didn't accept dollar bills to pay for taxes, the dollar bill wouldn't be worth shit.
Yeah.
The only reason that the people at the store take a dollar bill from you, the green money, the only reason they take it from you is because the government accepts it as payment when they have to pay taxes.
Yeah.
If the government said this day, we only take Turkish lira,
yeah, you're fucked.
They wouldn't take dollars anymore at the store.
Yeah.
And so you have to understand that taxation is part of the government setting the parameters of the market.
And the thing about tax that people have to keep in mind is that in a simpler time, whatever you want to call it, right? In a simpler time, the reason why taxes maybe didn't need to exist was because, so think about it like this. So before the invention of currency, right? But before the invention of money, like paper dollars, coins, or whatever you want to call it, right? There was a time when we lived in a community. We lived in a, whatever you want to call it. We lived in a community, right? Like a village.
Right.
We lived in a village, right? You didn't have to tax people because everybody contributed.
Right.
That was your tax. Your tax was your physical labor, right?
I raise cattle.
Yep.
You eat cattle, but you grow asparagus.
Yeah.
I want asparagus with my steak.
Yeah.
We're trading.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. But the thing is, how much is a cow worth? How much asparagus is a cow worth?
Yeah, that's not how they look at it.
Right.
They just look at it like, I need to eat. Here goes some food for you. I need that. Give that to me. You're good at fixing huts. You come fix my hut. I'm good at
because we're all in the interest of the community.
Yeah, that's
what capitalism came in and said. Wait a minute, man. I'm not trading you a cow for a bushel of asparagus because my cow is worth a lot more to me alive. So if you want me to kill my cow or give you my cow butchered, then I'm gonna have to charge you more.
To that point, the concept of what that did was also, if you look at that through the lens of like the job market, that devalued people's work as well. They got to say like, well, flipping burgers don't mean much.
Right.
CEOs, that's a hard job. Michael Bloomberg, what he does, he works hard for his money, right?
Right. That's what he said.
He said he worked hard for his money, right?
I haven't seen him sweat. Never seen him sweat.
But I'm sure that the people that were toiling away at his newspaper, or you know what I mean,
on his channel,
the traders, you know what I mean, that was making the calls and selling the stocks and buying the stuff, like they were working hard too. You know what I mean? Like so I'm not saying that he didn't work hard, but he didn't work any harder than anybody else that worked under him.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that is also what happened with capitalism, is that they got to be able to tell you that your job isn't worth as much as this job.
And guess what?
Or as important as this job.
Flipping burgers doesn't mean shit if I'm flipping burgers inside of my house.
Yeah,
flipping a burger doesn't mean shit. I mean, that's it, just to me. Yeah. I'm gonna give myself the hookup.
Yeah.
Right. Now, if I'm flipping burgers at In-N-Out and there's a line around the block, that people on their flipping that burger means a great deal
to those people.
And I should get a percentage of the profits that I'm producing for my labor.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when they devalue your labor, they can say, well, all you do is flip burgers. Yeah. You're just a burger flipper. I don't flip burgers. I sell burgers. I'm not flipping burgers. I'm part of a machine that sells burgers.
Yeah.
And that machine makes a lot of money.
And without me, without somebody, either without me or without somebody like me, without that cog in the machine, it wouldn't work. Like that's just the reality of it. Like if I'm cutting the fries, if you're frying the fries, if you're making it smooth, it don't matter. Every job is important. Period, point blank. Like it doesn't. I'm not
in a business
in a business structure like that. That's just what it is. But it's crazy that we, the working class, we have allowed them to brainwash us and to trick us into thinking that certain jobs. here's what I'm saying. Not all sin is created equal. Not all jobs are created. You know what I mean? Definitely, I understand. I'm just saying all jobs are important. I'm not saying that some jobs aren't more important or some jobs aren't harder to do or certain jobs shouldn't be valued more than other jobs, because I can flip burgers, you can flip burgers, but I can't operate on a person's brain.
Mm-hmm.
I can't set a bone. I can't pull a tooth. I can't braid hair. I can't, you know what I mean? Like, It just is what it is. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying though that like you're saying, if you are a part of the machine, you should be compensated accordingly. Like that's really all it comes down to.
Right.
And
because what if all the McDonald's workers got together and said, we're going to do every single thing at McDonald's except for flip burgers today?
The shit was shut down, and I mean, because the McFlurry machine already be broke half the time, so you ain't even got no McFlurries popping. All you got is fries and cookies and apple pies, nigga.
That's it. We're not flipping no burgers.
We're not flipping no burgers.
We like 0 burgers. We do everything else. We'll wash the dishes and everything. We're not flipping no burgers.
You microwave the shit.
Then you understand the value of a flip burger. Some of those McDonald's are very successful, and each individual employee that they have working there is responsible for making, if you just divide it up, into making $300 and $400 an hour.
Yeah. And
out of that, they get about $9 to $11.
Yeah, $9-10, man. And that's the reality of it. And 90% of that money goes to the CEO. 2% of that money goes to you. A little bit goes to your manager, and and so on and so forth, and the franchise fees and blah 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 blah. Right. But 90% of it is going to management, upper man, whatever, right? And that's crazy.
And then they tell people, well, McDonald's, 70% of the profits McDonald's goes to our employees.
Yeah, right. Yeah, fucking right.
Yeah, no, it goes to their employees, but which employees does it go to?
The managers. It goes to middle management.
Because they always just talk about how great McDonald's pays their managers. Yeah. But every McDonald's that I ever went to, the people get paid minimum wage.
Yeah, and all their managers be cockeyed. I'm just playing.
They be fat though.
I'm just playing.
They be fat off that
y'all don't be cockeyed. They just be smelling funny. But so we gonna get to this debate. I hope everybody watched the debate, y'all. Hey,
winners and losers. Let's go.
Winners and losers. I'm gonna say the winner of the debate overall was Elizabeth Warren. Okay. To me, her exchanges with Michael Bloomberg were magnificent. I mean, they were scripted, but it was like, hey, I don't know if you play like fighting games, like Street Fighter and like the new ones though. It was like she, like, I played people that like they got like memorized combos and stuff. It was like she had memorized combos and it was nothing you could do. It was like 22 hit combos, 37 hit combos on this fool. And every punch landed as far as I was concerned. Like everything she said stuck, everything. But here's the thing though. Here's the thing I want to point out real quick about that, about her or anybody other than Bernie Sanders in this on the debate stage, is that they're all so shitty that they all could say stuff about each other for the most part, and it all be completely true. They don't have to lie. They don't have to exaggerate or anything, and they can land every single punch. Klobuchar landed big punches on Mayor Pete. Hey, all you're doing is memorizing talking points. You don't know about this life. Where do you talk? That landed because I was like, yeah, you're right.
I think she really came hard on the experience thing because that's what's been working for her, attacking Mayor Pete on his experience, and they're like 2 and 3.
Yeah, they're 2 and 3
right there. And attacking him on his experience is what gave her that surge in the New Hampshire after the New Hampshire debate and subsequently in the primary.
Yeah.
And I think that she understands that, hey, that's my lane over there that he's in.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to take him out, I need to start hollering and screaming about his experience. You ain't been in this. Like, you know what I mean? I'm a 60-year-old woman.
Yeah.
You're a 38-year-old man. And you've never held a real office.
And she clearly has contempt for him on a personal level.
And she's mean.
And she is mean. And that's funny to me, that how mean she is.
She's literally Hillary Clinton.
But meaner.
On a thing. But yeah.
But meaner. Because she can't hold it together. Because Hillary can hold it together for the most part. But Amy Klobuchar always look like she ready to get brolic. And so yeah, that like that's how shitty they all are. Like Pete Buttigieg could say something about Elizabeth Warren, taking money from this person or that. You know what I'm saying? It's like the whole Wine Cave Pete exchange, right? When she landed that big blow. I thought he landed a equally big blow on her.
The Wine Cave thing,
he came right back at her and was like, since when did you stop taking money from billionaires? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it was like, what? Like you just stopped right now. And then you transferred the money from your prior election that you took the billionaires' money and put it into this, pumped it into this election. So you're being totally disingenuous.
And she's being hypocritical for sure.
For sure, 100%. And I thought that to me, because I'm listening, I can hear through the fluff. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I remember in that exchange, I thought he got the better of her.
He's talking about the Iowa debate.
The Iowa debate. Yeah,
the Iowa debate.
He countered her so masterfully, but it went over a lot of people's heads because they just heard Wine Cave Pete.
And that's a good marketing.
Yeah,
Wine Cave Pete.
Yeah, she marketed it better. You know what I'm saying? But I thought he landed the same kind of. I was like, yeah.
And then Bernie kind of got in on it. Yeah, he went right back to that. Biden's billionaires, and Pete's billionaire, and he stuck it to him. Yeah. And then by the time the debate was over, Bernie's camp had the Wine Cave Pete and the T-shirts, and people like by the time of the debate. This is how crazy is the internet age. What campaigns look like. They already had the Wine Cave Pete T-shirts in the afterwards what they do
the parties,
the room,
the parties,
the room thing afterwards.
That was the funniest
spin room.
Ever. Yeah.
Oh my God, they already had them.
That was beautiful. That was masterful, and that is the type of stuff that's happening right now in this election because of how shitty. Basically, all of the candidates, other than y'all can say whatever. We could go back and forth. I'm beyond that. I'm not here to play games. I don't care about your feelings. I don't care about none of that shit. I'm talking straight up and down, man. There is one candidate.
Right.
There's one candidate worth your vote in the presidential election, and that's Bernie Sanders. I don't care what no matter how you slice it. I've had this discussion with people. This is what I do. I go, before they say, I don't know who to vote for. I go, okay. I ask them, what do you care about? What policies do you care about? See if they're policy wonks and, most, I just want to beat Trump. Okay, you want to beat Trump? Vote Bernie. He's beating Trump in every single poll. He's the most electable, blah, 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 right? Okay, cool. And then if they go, well, I care about, this policy and that policy, then it's like, oh, okay, vote Bernie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I care about who care. Okay, vote Bernie. I care about ending the wars. Vote Bernie. I care about
the environment.
I care about the environment, like the major issues. Some people come with the gun stuff. That's
you care about gun control, vote for Bernie.
No, I'm saying people who don't want gun control, like the people that are like guns matter, black guns matter. I'm like, yeah,
okay, that's cool.
Do your thing.
Vote for Bernie.
It seems like they said
because you're gonna need that health care with all them guns out there.
It seems like they said the stuff that they've been holding on to last night. Absolutely, Tyrone. It seemed like the gloves came off, and it seems like people were swinging for the fences because people on their last leg right now, and they gotta make their money. And right. Then real quick. So my winner was Warren, and my loser was Michael Bloomberg. My loser was Michael Bloomberg. Without a doubt, it was Mike Bloomberg. I mean, he got everybody got him. Like it wasn't like not okay. So the only people that didn't attack him that I remember was Klobuchar and Pete. And I remember saying that. I said it when I interviewed Ben Dixon yesterday. I was saying like I think that those are the people that aren't going to say anything about him because they want his money. Right. I was like Biden. I was like Biden's going to say something because he's still in Biden's thunder. Warren's going to say something with the sexism. I already knew she was going to play that. Use that against. I shouldn't say play that, but use that against him. And Bernie literally talks about him all the time. You know what I'm saying? If he ain't talking about him, he's talking about another billionaire just like him. So yeah, I knew that was coming. But loser had to be Mike Bloomberg for many reasons. I mean, what can you say about the guy that's good? Is there anything you like about him? I mean, nope. I don't care about his money.
He's 5'4". He can't dunk. If he could dunk, I have something good to say about him, like Spud Webb. Like what can you say?
He was terrible. So who are your winners and losers, man?
Winner Bernard Sanders. The reason I say Bernie is because when you are the front runner, and we've seen this when Biden was the front runner, he got toppled. You know what I mean?
Yes.
When he got toppled by the intense pressure put on him by Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders.
Kamala Harris.
when Kamala Harris was the front runner.
No. I'm saying when Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Yeah. When the front runner was Warren, she could not take the heat. She does not like to be disagreed with. She doesn't like to be grilled, and it showed under pressure. Bernie Sanders, ever since he has taken that mantle of front runner, he has invited the hatred and the vitriol of the DNC and the candidates. And he has, every time, he has slam dunked them. Even the moderators are against him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And even with the moderators against him, he has absolutely shined, and he has never been knocked off his square. And that just comes from consistency. He knows who he is. His message is his message in his sleep, and he doesn't leave any room. He boxes himself in because he understands his message. He boxes himself in his message. Yeah. He doesn't have any waffle room. If you look at Buttigieg, if you look at Klobuchar, if you look at Biden, people that don't even have real platforms, they leave themselves a wiggle room on what they're telling you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And their whole thing is disingenuous. Like their whole shtick is this. Nobody up there is genuine other than Bernie Sanders.
Right. Everybody is, because everyone else is leaving room for
to change.
Right. One way or another. To be like, well, after we look at the data. Yep. Don't give me an after we look at the data.
To get your vote today and then do something with it different in the general.
Right. And I think that as far as the winner, Bernard Sanders, when he was saying he stays on message, he is his brand. He stayed on brand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
He is codified in what he's doing.
Yep.
And so you can't hate on it. And they know that the reason they were swinging for him is because they know he's already the champ. And you got to knock the champ out if you want to be the champ.
Absolutely.
But he's Floyd Mayweather in the ring, man. He's slick.
Yeah, he's king of the hill for sure. And I like I said, I wanted to get. I would have given him the nod, but like I said, I think Warren she just landed, and I just appreciate how surgically she cut up Michael Bloomberg. And if any older person was thinking of, because I say older person specifically because I know nobody under 45 was thinking about voting for Michael Bloomberg. I know that for a fact. Any older person that was thinking about voting for Michael Bloomberg, working class older person, there is no way you can watch that debate or clips from that debate last night. This is what I want y'all to do. This is what I want you to do.
He can beat Trump.
First of all, he can't beat Trump. He can't. First of all. Second of all, I want y'all to watch some clips of Michael Bloomberg's exchanges with people without the sound on, and just watch his facial expressions. The arrogance on it just oozes. Like he's so entitled. Like everything is like how dare you ask me that?
Yeah, when you're that rich, people don't question you. They don't say stuff. That's why he thinks he can say stuff to women like have abortions and stuff.
Yeah,
but because he's rich, he doesn't have to answer to anybody.
But Tom Steyer got a grip of money, and I don't trust Tom Steyer as far as I can throw him. But he don't look like
Steyer ain't got that Bloomberg money.
Steyer is a bro.
He got like $30 billion.
Come on, man. Like he got enough.
Bloomberg got twice.
It don't matter.
No. And I'm not even gonna say the money. How about this? The power.
Okay.
Bloomberg has got 10 times the power that Tom Steyer has.
Hey man, I know Cat's worth a couple mil surrounded by yes men. So you ain't about to sell me on, 60 and 30 million.
But I'm saying the power.
I think
the mayor of New York. No, wait, the mayor of New York.
No, I'm not.
Is a power position.
They both got power, and I'm just saying that they both could insulate themselves,
right?
And they both could have, And I don't feel like Tom Steyer has just people who just.
I think also the resolve and the strategy to end your career. Like I think that's why a lot of Republicans are scared of Trump, because Trump has the resolve. Like, some people could end your career, but they'd rather not bother with you. I got too many things to do.
Yeah,
that the Trump, Bloomberg, cats like that. You make them mad. They really will be like, you'll never work in this town again.
Yeah.
I will make sure. I will go out of my way.
Yeah.
And make sure you never work in this town again.
They're vindictive.
That way you can tell people, don't cross me. Like you want to prove a point.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I think that none of those politicians that were up on that stage, he doesn't have that over them.
No. Absolutely not.
And so basically they were like, look, this is for all the marbles.
Yeah.
And you didn't come. We've been debating for a year now. Yeah. We've been debating for a year now. it's like almost like you could be a good fighter, but you walk into the Thunderdome when everything's cracking and the chats are battle tested and stuff like that. Yeah. You're food for the pack. And I think that's what he was food for the pack.
He absolutely, he was, as Shaq would say, he was barbecue chicken down there.
Yeah, it was a barbecue chicken alert.
He was barbecue chicken down there.
And let me go ahead, just so we're not giving just the one loser. Let me give you another loser.
Okay.
Pete Buttigieg lost. And let me tell you why. Because Pete Buttigieg's whole motif for the entire thing was what? He was coming at Bernie Sanders, saying that Bernie Sanders was divisive and radical, and that they needed someone that
could unite the party.
That could unite the party.
That could speak to both sides of the party. I was like, what both sides? The wealthy and the poor? Like, what are you talking about?
Right. And then he's saying that the people that would vote for Bloomberg and the people that would vote for Bernie Sanders, basically when he was saying the both sides of the party. But the real two sides of the party, because the main division in who's voting for who is young and old and money, right? And he doesn't first of all, the money people, they love it.
They love who?
Buttigieg.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's not because he's got money, because he doesn't.
No.
Because he's bendable.
And how he talks.
They can bend him. They know they can bend him to his will, to their will. Secondly, though, he's 38, but the millennials hate this guy.
Yeah, despise him.
And don't forget this. You're not going to beat Trump, and you're not going to even win the Democratic nomination when you're polling at 0% in the African-American community.
4% for Buttigieg. 0%, yeah, 0%.
Oh, then that's a surge.
Yeah, he jumped up. It might go down after the debate, but it was at 4 as of.
That's still terrible. That's not going to cut it. That's going to cut it because because I love it when I love Black people hearing about Bernie Sanders because they absolutely, when they take a good look at him, they absolutely love him. That's why he is now surpassed Biden as number one with Black people.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
He's number one in every major category in the Democratic Party at this point in time.
Yeah.
He's very popular. He's gotten a great surge from the way he's performed in the first two primaries and the subsequent debates.
I was going to say, but oddly enough, he's still down in the delegate count.
Because somehow, getting 6,000 more votes in the primary in Iowa gets you 2 less delegates.
And 4,000 and 4,000 more in New Hampshire. You ended up with you tied in the state.
He tied in the state delegates.
State delegates, right? Yeah.
We tied in the delegates. And in Iowa, he got more votes, ended up with less delegates.
14 and 11 in Iowa.
And that's the shit that make me want to take just
break the whole shit up. So that's a great segue into the next question. Then what happens on Super Tuesday and what happens? Yeah, let's start there. What happens on Super Tuesday? Super Tuesday.
So for those of you that don't know, they call it Super Tuesday. It's not a football game. Is going to be the day that it's March the 3rd this year. Mm-hmm. It is the first Tuesday of March, where the most states are going to have their primaries at the same damn time.
It's the biggest delegate grab.
Right. So basically, this is the opportunity for you could be in 4th place. You could come out first. This is the opportunity to make your move. This is the opportunity to show your electability. Yeah. This is your opportunity to show that the people are with you and behind you. And this is your opportunity to show you can that you can secure the Democratic nomination going into the Milwaukee primary that is in what, May?
Okay. And also California is on May 3rd and Texas is on May 3rd, and those are the two biggest delegate grabs in the race. So
you said Texas?
Texas,
March 3rd. Right?
What did I say?
You said May 3rd.
I'm sorry, March 3rd.
Yeah, Super Tuesday.
So Super Tuesday, yeah. So Texas and Cali both are on Super Tuesday.
Right.
Bernie Sanders is projected to win both of those states. He's also projected to win the entire West Coast, Washington on down, Cali, Nevada. Arizona, Texas, so more than likely he's going to come out with the commanding lead in the delegates out of Super Tuesday. And after that, you basically if you win the first, so just so people understand a little bit about history, if you win the first two states. Mm-hmm. Every single candidate that has done that has gone on to win the nomination. Absolutely. First and foremost, right?
It's never happened any other way.
If you win California and Texas, if you win the first two states or one of the first two states and win California and Texas, it's over.
Right.
It's over.
So the states that are going to be up for grabs on Super Tuesday are Alabama, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Democrats abroad. So we're talking about Samoa and all that, right? Where people in the military and all that.
Yeah.
Maine, Massachusetts, Minnesota, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont, and Virginia. So that is a great deal of the voting populace there. And so strategy wise, so do you have the poll pull up so we can see who's what and where?
Yeah, so as of today in the national polls, well, I'm sorry, in Nevada, Bernie is leading. Biden is in a close second. I'm sorry, in a distant second. They're losing by double digits. Also, in the national polls, Bernie is up as well. Hold on, let me get to this poll right here. Sanders is up in Texas right now, 23-20. Sanders is up in North Carolina, and Sanders is in a statistical tie in South Carolina. In Nevada, Bernie is up 30-17. Buttigieg is in second in Nevada in the newest Emerson poll, right? Pre-debate poll, Bernie was 29-21. Post-debate, Bernie is 30-17. That means Biden slipped 3 points, 5 points post debate in Nevada, which is crazy. And Biden's not even in Nevada. Biden only showed up in Nevada to do the debate, pretty much. Like when he was in New Hampshire, he dipped a toe in New Hampshire and flew right past Nevada and went straight to South Carolina. Or he didn't fly past Nevada, but y'all get the point. He didn't even go to Nevada. He was in South Carolina. He got around his fake black support, his very soft black support in South Carolina, and tried to act like he cared about the black voice and said that, hey, you guys haven't had a chance to vote. The first 2 states are very white. You guys should get a chance to, I can't wait for you guys to get your voice to be, let your voice be heard. And lo and behold, Bernie overtook him not a week and a half later. So there's that. So Bloomberg's in the national polls. Bloomberg doesn't even. He's I think he's 3rd or 4th in the national poll. I think he's polling around like 10 or 12%. I think after the debate, his numbers are going to go down. Warren is in 3rd. Biden is in 2nd, and Bernie Sanders has a double-digit lead nationally right now.
Right. So when we're talking about delegates counts, and California and Sanders has a 27. He's at 27%, and the next person is 15.3. Biden 15.3. Bloomberg. You have to get at least 15% of the vote in order to get delegates awarded
to be viable, and if not, your delegates get split up.
So Biden and Bloomberg are playing right around that 15% in California.
I don't think Biden's going to give. You think Biden's going to get 15% in Nevada?
Biden has not lived up to any poll that he's already conceded Nevada. Remember, he said that he said in the debate. No, and that was in New Hampshire.
He said New Hampshire, and he
was like, I know,
and he didn't even go to Nevada, so he basically conceded Nevada as well.
Right, South Carolina is his
firewall, as they like to say.
Okay, and then in North Carolina, it looks like they're in a statistical tie.
Now, Bernie's winning North Carolina, and he's winning in South Carolina right now. And overall, not depending on what poll you're looking at.
Depending on what polls you're looking at, for sure. Warren in Massachusetts, 33%. Second being Biden at 18 and Sanders at 13. So
yeah, it's a long way.
That's her home state, so she's doing well there.
Yeah.
Sanders 25% at Maine, of course, right? And Sanders and Bloomberg at 22% each in Virginia.
Do you think that Elizabeth Warren leaves leaves Nevada with a fistful of delegates?
No, I think that she leaves with no delegates, and I think that she's not going to go.
So who comes in second then?
Second is, I think Joe Biden pulls off second in Nevada. Well, for his sake, I guess, right?
Well, that would mean he would overperform in the polls. Right
well, that's true. Bloomberg or
Bloomberg's
Biden.
Not in it.
Oh, that's not. That's right. He's not in it till
Super Tuesday.
Okay, so we're going. I don't know. I just cannot
I think
see
one other person
Biden
will be
being
viable.
where he was.
Yeah.
And then just like, I think he's second, and I don't think it's close.
I think one other person is viable in Nevada, and I think that's Elizabeth Warren. I think nobody else leaves Nevada with 15% or more.
And if you're Pete Buttigieg, when do you start saying, because we're looking at all these polls,
Pete
and one thing we don't hear is the name Pete Buttigieg and viable in any of the Super Tuesday.
Pete is never dropping out. Just
primaries.
You could stop that.
Which
right
why
now.
Would it make sense for him to go to the convention with what is he, 14 plus 11, 20, 25?
No, he's gonna get delegates in other states.
You think so?
Oh yeah. I know that for a fact. He's gonna get delegates in other states.
Like where?
I don't know. There's white states out there. Utah's out there.
Well, Bernie is way in the lead in Utah.
I believe it.
And he's way out there, and the second place person in Utah is not even viable.
Who is it, Biden?
Yeah.
Damn.
And he's like 13%. So basically, no, it doesn't look like Buttigieg is going to pull.
So,
that's the thing. That's the thing that they've always been saying about the Buttigieg campaign. It's like, look, Iowa, New Hampshire,
yeah.
there's no because it's not just white people that are voting for Buttigieg. It's white professional managerial class. Yeah. And that's not a large percentage of the white people in a lot of states.
Which should tell you something about this country when there's not even a lot of wealthy white people in this country.
Right.
There's a lot of broke white people in it. The majority of white people in this country are poor, just like niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that should tell you something about the economy right there.
And you got 80% of people live check to check.
And that includes white people.
Everybody.
That's everybody. So that's crazy.
We have a lot more in common economically than difference than we don't.
Yeah.
A lot of the issues that separate us are social issues, and that just comes from a lack of understanding of each other and a lack of cohesiveness. And some people think that we can, sell another American dream and rather everybody up, but that's not working. No. We have to give something robust, and it's time to give something robust and tangible to the working class, white, black, or Hispanic, whatever.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Last night, I wanted to mention this. One of the best parts in the debate to me was hearing when Pete Buttigieg asked the question, which we've done this show before, the Gatsby Effect.
Mm-hmm.
And he was basically like the likelihood of going from poverty to, ascending to middle class or whatever, just getting yourself out of poverty, right? The likelihood of that. America is like not even in the top 10, he said, you know who's number one? Denmark.
And people started laughing because they understand that Denmark is a model for what
Bernie wants to say. And that tells you that he knows exactly what the issues are. He knows Bernie Sanders has the best policy proposals. He knows that. But yet and still he's saying that Bernie Sanders' policies are divisive. This
dude, Bernie Sanders is Eminem and Pete Buttigieg is Machine Gun Kelly. This dude wrote a paper on Bernie Sanders when he was in high school about how great the guy was.
Yeah.
And how, his policies, how great his policies were. This dude was a staunch supporter of Medicare for all before he ran for president.
Yeah, he was. Like last year he was.
And this is what they're realizing. He's realizing the same thing that Andrew Yang realized, because Andrew Yang jumped in and he loved Medicare for all. Mm-hmm. And he ran because he idolized Bernie Sanders. He thought like, man, I could make an impact too, So this dude, what they're realizing is that just because they're younger, they can't come for him. They don't have the energy and the movement. I think they figured that, they tried to come for him in his lane, but then they realized, like, wait a minute, I can't do what he's doing.
Yeah.
So now I have to separate myself by changing.
But Pete doesn't believe in it.
I think that he understands. I think Pete will do whatever it takes to win. I think Pete understands that is a winning policy prescription. Mm-hmm. And I think that he's upset that Bernie is just there. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see Pete Buttigieg running for president, because he's going to run for president again.
Pete needs money. his donors didn't like the message that he was kicking. They sat him down and said, "We'll give you money if you stop kicking that message." And he said, "Yes, sir." And he stopped kicking the message. If he was black, we would say he was a coon, and we would say he was a sellout.
Right, but he understands a winner when he sees one.
What you mean Bernie said? You talking about his policies or
right?
Whatever? Yeah,
he understands a winner when he sees one.
Yeah,
he's just that he can't get in that lane for the reasons you said.
Yeah, his donors,
and also because you can't kick Bernie's ass. Like what did Elizabeth Warren just try to do?
It ain't about that.
She tried to ape Bernie,
but she didn't really believe. My point is the reason ain't because Bernie's already in the lane. The reason is they don't really believe in it. If they really believed in it, then it would be fine. Like if Andrew Yang really was like, we need to get comprehensive health care, passed for everybody in this country, plus UBI, he would be in his own lane. You see what I'm saying? Like because Bernie wasn't pushing UBI, and Bernie should adopt UBI as a policy.
Bernie would be open to discussing.
He should adopt UBI as a policy.
He should be like,
doubt. Just
my friend Andrew Yang is a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
We sat down and we talked about this, and UBI is good because what happened with a lot of Yang supporters, I noticed they didn't vote for Bernie Sanders.
They said that. They said we're not voting for. They are Yang or bust. We're Bernie or bust, and I don't knock them. Right. I don't knock.
And a lot of them were actually Republicans.
Yeah, that too. A lot of them libertarians. I don't knock. He can't stand dealing with people. Who you talking about? Pete. I don't knock anybody that is a Yang or bust person or a what's her name?
Elizabeth Warren?
Hell no. One that's polling at 2% from Hawaii.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi Gabbard. If you're a Tulsi or bust, a Yang or bust, or Bernie or bust person, I get it.
Absolutely. I
totally understand. And that's coming from a Bernie or bust. And I think Bernie by far has the best policy proposals, but I get it. I do understand it. You know what I mean? Like it's not, but everybody else, for the most part, they're going to vote no matter whoever the candidate is. If Bernie wins, any blue will do. If you were going to vote for Biden, you would come out and vote for Bernie. If you were going to vote for Pete, you would come out and vote for Bernie. If you were going to vote for Warren, you definitely would come out and vote for Bernie. All those people are going to come out and vote for Bernie. Don't worry about them. The people that you guys need to be worried about are us, because I'm not fucking voting for. I will vote green like I always, like I've done my whole since I've been voting. I will vote green, or I won't vote for. I'll write in Robert Kelly, or I'll write in Tyrone Irving. I don't care. I'm not voting for Bloomberg, Warren, Klobuchar, Buttigieg. I'm not voting for any of those corporate shills. None of them. I never will. They're terrible. Bloomberg is the worst, no doubt about it. I wouldn't even think about voting for Joe Biden, because what it comes down to is if I have to ask the question, how are you better than Donald Trump? And I really can't find the answer, then I'm not fucking with you. Period, point blank. And I asked the question. I've done it. I've done the math. Biden. How is Biden better than Donald Trump? Policy-wise. Because I really care about policy first. You have to give me policy.
Right. First. I'm not showing up for the fucking push-up contest. I'm not. I'm gonna fuck Biden. That's a push-up contest.
That's a boatload of malarkey.
That don't mean shit. Like that doesn't mean a damn thing. A push-up contest. People are hurting. People are sleeping out on the street right now. What the hell are you going to do about it? And don't give me the shit that Obama did, because that's new wealth all going to
Obama didn't do shit.
Top 10%.
Obama didn't do shit. And he tried to lie again about Obama doing shit last night to Mayor Bloomberg when he was like, the stop and frisk didn't stop until Obama sent it. First he said Obama sent people in, to stop it, right? Then in the same sentence, damn near the same sentence, he was like, we sent people in.
He put me on the case.
Yeah.
It's always like Obama sick Biden on him every time.
Now it's not Obama, it's we. Now he's in it, right? He's put himself in the situation. And then today, the judge that actually stopped it said, nah, that didn't happen. First of all, she said they both were lying because Bloomberg tried to say it went down 95%. She came out and said, no, it went down 67%. But I was the one with this other judge. It was another judge involved. We were the ones who stopped it.
Because the people had to sue New York
to stop it.
To stop the shit.
And guess who was against it? Bloomberg.
Of course he was against it, because that's the tough on crime shit that gets you elected mayor of New York. That got him elected mayor of New York. He would have been going back on it. You got to have certain people on your side to get elected mayor of New York. One of those is the NYPD. Mm-hmm. How do you think the NYPD felt about stop and frisk?
They loved it.
They loved it.
They loved it.
Oh, really? You think I could just run up on this nigga and I can just search him? I've been wanting to get my hands on this motherfucker for years.
But you know what's crazy about that, though? The police, the scariest motherfuckers on the face of the planet. Let them tell it, right? Every nigga is bigger and blacker than they really are.
Everybody's dangerous as hell.
Every nigga is dangerous as hell.
Niggas
right?
know karate and shit.
We all kung fu.
Everybody in the NFL.
Yeah, we all run 4 flats and we all bench press 300 pounds, right? But here's the thing. Why would you want to put yourself in harm's way and just going out frisking people all day? That's so much contact. Because every time you have contact with the public, anything can happen. That's when the crazy shit happens.
Oh, because they're gangbanging. That's why.
So if you're so afraid, why would you want to do that as a police officer? I would. If it's
such a dangerous job, why are you making your job 10 times more dangerous?
Well, you just made your job so fucking dangerous. Because
it's not as dangerous as they say. They're the danger.
Yeah, they're the bigger that we know. Police are
because the police. I can imagine stop and frisk. Like we have that kind of power. We're the New York. Our precinct is a gang. We're gangbangers now. Yeah, they could. Oh, y'all think y'all gang? Y'all on the corner? Y'all got your shit? Your corner boy? We the jump out boys. Yeah, we gonna jump out on your ass. And that's exactly what the scene.
Cops and robbers.
Oh, there's people over there chilling. They could be doing anything. They could be selling drugs. Yeah, they could be doing something else. Yeah, it don't matter. Let's jump out.
That's harassment.
Probable cause. Fourth Amendment. Yeah, fuck that. This is New York City.
And to be fair, let's keep it a buck. It ain't like New York is the only city that they just called it something. Or I'm saying because Bloomberg didn't start stop and frisk. He inherited stop and frisk. Right. He ratcheted it up.
He got it from a dude that you would expect shit like that from. Giuliani.
He took it from Giuliani.
You would expect that from Giuliani. Yeah. He's a bitch ass motherfucker.
Giuliani is terrible. Oh, speaking of New York mayors. Bill de Blasio came out and endorsed Bernie Sanders. Hey, man, I know a lot of people think that don't mean nothing. That is heavy. Bill de Blasio is the mayor of New York.
Right.
We're not talking about Bill de Blasio endorsing Bernie Sanders. Instead, I found that out on Twitter. I don't watch corporate media, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be fair about that.
I heard Crystal Ball talking about it.
No, I know. I don't watch. That's not corporate media. It's independent media, right? Like we only watch independent media, right? Mm-hmm. I listen to Tyrone. I listen to you. You know what I'm saying? Like I listen to independent news people that find the stories and dig them out and they bring like what's important to us because y'all speak to me personally. You talk about stuff that affect me personally. That's why I listen to y'all. So the thing about it is that. On the corporate media, though, but I do get stuff like in trickles. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the corporate media, I did hear about how the black mayor of some, podunk town in North Carolina endorsed Bloomberg. I did hear about this black woman mayor endorsing Bloomberg in Texas or whatever state. You know what I'm saying? If there was a black Sarah, oh my God, Bloomberg. Bill de Blasio was at a rally for it wasn't like he just came out and was like, yes, I support Bernie Sanders. He went to a rally and spoke for Bernie Sanders on his behalf and was like, that's the guy. We need to get that guy elected.
Absolutely.
He is the mayor of New York. That's the biggest city in the country. Like what the
he was a candidate.
Talking about that. He was a candidate. No other, I'm sorry. Julian Castro endorsed Elizabeth Moore. Who the fuck is Julian Castro? Did you see that
interview video?
Yes, I did.
That little endorsement
when he came out, yes.
He showed up at her house and
it was super random.
No beer, they're drinking coffee. And I thought he was gonna have a beer with her.
Bring a brew, bro, for that one. So, but ain't that some shit? we don't hear about Bill de Blasio, the mayor of the biggest city in the country, one of the biggest cities in the world, endorsing Bernie Sanders.
Because de Blasio, they painted him during his campaign. They painted him and like the moderators and the fucking media painted him as a fucking hippie of some sort.
Yeah,
like he was the fringe. He was the fringe candidate.
He got sideburns. Remember he had the sideburns also?
He was the fringe candidate. And I was like, damn, he's not getting a lot of respect for being the mayor
of New York.
Because right? He's not like, you know what I mean?
Bill de Blasio ain't. I don't like Bill de Blasio.
He ain't like, because no, to them, they got their own little elite, right?
Yeah.
He's not a part of that shit like that.
He ain't in the club.
He's not in the club. He's not Steinbrenner, Regis Philbin, and all.
No. He was the mayor that gave the money to the Central Park Five. He was the, you know what I'm saying? He was the mayor that eventually did end Stop and Frisk completely.
He's married to one of the Moolies.
Yeah, he's married. He's a black woman. Yeah, absolutely. He's married to
He's got a black child.
He got black children. They don't like that.
They're not functioning. They
don't like that. And
he's not Jewish.
And he ain't Jewish. I personally, well, no, it was Giuliani. But I personally don't give a fuck about de Blasio, politically speaking, right? Like a lot of his policies, I don't care for. All the shit that happened with the dirty cops, in the ones that killed Eric Garner and that whole fiasco. Like I'm not his biggest fan, but Bill de Blasio is, like I said, he's the mayor of the biggest city in the country. And I feel like that should have been a big story. And I know for a fact, if Bill de Blasio would have came out and endorsed Elizabeth Warren or any of those other candidates, it would have been, oh, Bill de Blasio supports Warren, he's blah, all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, NYPD hates de Blasio because he didn't stand behind the dirty cops that killed Eric Garner.
Right. He stood with family.
Yeah, but he fucked up though. Because he let the shit. He should have fired it. He should have fired that dude on the spot. He should have put pressure on the DA to get the guy to get the case brought.
The thing is about the firing. NYPD is part of the union for the NYPD is one of the strongest, most powerful police unions on the face of the earth. That was really, they had to make sure you could understand where, okay, we're gonna fire this guy because soon as the day he did it. Yeah. That they had to make sure they went through the pain every single. They couldn't leave any stone unturned because if they would have fucked up, he would still had his job.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then he would have been able to sue them.
Yeah,
and the shit wouldn't have worked out right.
No, they did it right.
They did what they had to do. But as soon as he was able to fire him, he fired him immediately.
Yeah, they had that nigga last check in the drawer already.
It was ready.
It was a blank check with his name on it. They did his hours real quick. It was like, here you go. All right, get the fuck out of here. And he was out the door. So. But just back to the original point. So yeah, I think that was awesome that Bill de Blasio endorsed Bernie Sanders.
Awesome.
His speech was lackluster, but
he's never been the best speaker.
He's not the best speaker. But I actually kind of liked him when he was. I remember when he was in the debates. I thought he was decent.
You know what made
I like this dude
during the campaign? What made me think that de Blasio was dope? First of all, you could tell he was. He's not the absolute pinnacle of progressiveness, but like I was saying to you, you don't have to be AOC or fucking Ilhan Omar to be part of the progressive wing. Mm-hmm. I think he sees the writing on the wall of where it's going. And I think he doesn't want to get rolled over by history.
This is like a political move for him.
Yeah, and because he's gonna he has a political career ahead of him. He could still be a senator. He could be down. He wants to be down with that. He knows who the most popular politician in New York is.
That's actually a smart move. Yeah, right. That's actually a dope move.
AOC is going to rule New York politics for the next 30 years.
If she wants to, because she said she's not going to be a lifelong politician.
Yeah, she got too much. She's super.
I don't want her to be a lifelong politician. I want her to
come out and be an activist. I want her to start the yellow vest. I want her to start the riot if this shit don't go right. Yeah. But de Blasio stood up. I think he likes the shit that talk that Bernie talks, the courage to stand up to the big fossil fuel. Because remember with the blackouts that were going on in New York City, the brownouts and stuff like that, and he stood up to Con Edison.
Yeah, Bernie did.
And no, not Bernie. De Blasio.
I'm sorry.
He's told him like, look, when I call, he went to the people. He's like, look, whenever I talk to these people, try to figure out where these blackouts are coming from, why it keeps happening, and things of that nature, and they don't have an answer for me.
Yeah.
And he was like, we will get rid of you guys and go public if you don't.
When he threatened.
He threatened, and he took it right to them.
Yeah.
Because and I think that he understands that, hey, there are things in place that disservice the people, and this shit sucks. And we do have to have, as politicians, I think he thinks that's part of being a politician. You have to have the courage to stand up to those types of people. Because standing up to Edison is a big deal, because when you try to run again, they have the money to finance someone to run against you big time, and they will have your face with a big red X on it on TV every fucking day if they want.
Yep. Let me ask you this. What do you, because just going back to it, you touched on it real quick. So how do you think, give me the two scenarios you think that, how do you think this primary is going to play out?
Number one, first scenario, after the states, we go into Wisconsin into the convention. Okay. In the Wisconsin convention, the most likely scenario is that no one's going to have a plurality, meaning no one's going to have 51%, the 1991 delegates remaining. To win it outright. At that point, there's going to be the first vote, and it's not going to be a plurality, of course, right? And it's going to go to the super delegates. At that time, the super delegates are, because of the backroom deals and things that are going to be made, I think that they're going to try to use that leverage to get Bernie out.
And there's 500 super delegates, right?
Right.
They count as 500 votes, or however you want to. Yeah.
Right. So they're going to use that to try to just basically slap Bernie.
Even if
knock Bernie out.
Okay, so what's the other scenario?
The other scenario is that Bernie does go in with a closer to a plurality, maybe about 40-45%.
Okay.
Of the delegates.
Which would be like
that's best case scenario for him. 1,800, and they can't cheat him. Like he's there. It's like that's close enough to where you got
if he's at 1,800 and the next closest person, which the projections right now, they're not in triple digits. I mean, they're not in quadruple digits. They're in triple digits. They're like in 900, 800, which will be Biden, and you don't give it to him.
And you know what the thing is though, Bernie is kind of in a corner right now with that. And the reason being is because
he said he was going to support.
Yeah, he's already said he's going to support whoever wins the nomination, which he should have never done.
That was terrible.
He could just, every time somebody asks that question, he just look at him and smile like, what do you think?
We'll see. Depending on who it is.
I haven't had anyone come and say they would support me if I win. If they come and say they'll support me if I win, then I may say the same thing back to them. I would just
I would just say it depends on who wins, because I'm not supporting. Yeah,
I'm not going to support Bloomberg. He's a fucking racist.
He can say that.
He can say that. I'm not going to support Bloomberg. He's a racist, a misogynist, and
he's no better than Trump.
He's no better than Trump. You can say that off top. But I think that if Tulsi Gabbard, I think him and Tulsi should have been in more communique.
Okay.
Because it seems like Tulsi's not going to drop out.
She says she's not going to drop out.
Yeah, she's been saying it since the beginning that she's going all the way to the convention. Now, she doesn't have a lane. She's not going to win. But I think that if he was more like, instead of tying him, because it was him and Warren, and they were kind of like, boxing each other together, right? I think that if he was more, it would have. He couldn't anticipate it. Warren just taking that turn to the right. Maybe he could have, but I don't. With her popularity, I think he was just like, okay, well, she's with it. At least she's not going against me. You know what I mean? She was even the front runner at one point. But if he would have been more in communicate with Tulsi's camp, and was more in a position to kind of do that kind of thing with Tulsi, I think that Tulsi could be in a better position to grab some of those delegates and hold them for him.
Maybe. Because
we know that Tulsi would never give her delegates to anyone else.
Get no delegates, though.
Right. Now. But I'm saying that a good piece of strategy would have been to be in better communication with Tulsi's campaign, be in better communication with Yang's campaign. You know what I mean? Just in case one of those guys gets in a position, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he could have been like, one thing I noticed about Yang in the debate, they did him so dirty. First of all, they barely called on him. He's always one of the lowest talk times. Not only that, he could never butt in because they turned his mic off when he wasn't talking.
Yeah.
And you could hear them turn his mic on whenever he talked. I was like, they're doing him extra cold. Like he could never just interject himself. He only allowed to talk when they say.
That's rigging the election, by the way.
That's rigging. Yes, that's definitely rigging the election.
That's part of rigging the election.
And I think that's why he dropped out early because he understood that he's not going to gain any momentum. The only thing he's going to ever get is a chance to talk when they say talk, especially when with him polling where he was at.
But then why would he? But then he turned around and took a job from them. So I think that's why I don't know. I don't trust him.
What is he doing now?
He's a correspondent. He's on with what's his name? Baldhead black dude Van Jones. He was whatever MSNBC or whatever.
He got to get paid.
He's already a millionaire. He's a business owner. That's not why he did it. But if you have this contempt for the media, why go work for them?
Yeah,
I don't understand that. So I think my prediction is.
He sued MSNBC, didn't he?
I don't know.
He sued them. Now he's working for them.
Yeah, he's working for him. I know that, but I don't know if he sued him or not. So this is my guess. I think it plays out like this. My best case scenario is this. Bernie wins. He steamrolls. He wins Saturday in Nevada, which he will. He wins South Carolina, which I think he will. He wins the West Coast. He wins most of the Midwest states, like closer to the West Coast on Super Tuesday, and he wins Texas. Coming out of Super Tuesday, he if there's 15 states or whatever, I forget how many states it is, he's winning 13 to 14 of those states, right? That starts the momentum, that starts to slide, everything shifts on his axis, and here we go. He's off the run and he just steamrolls everybody. And especially after last night, after seeing Bloomberg on the debate stage, I don't know. I don't think that guy got it. So Bernie can win it outright. That's what I hope happens. Sorry, that's not what I think will happen. That's what I hope happens. What I think is going to happen is a bunch of voter fraud, a bunch of voter suppression, a bunch of rigging going on, which they already rigged the first two. They already rigged the first two contests. They rigged Iowa, and they rigged and they tampered with the votes in New Hampshire. If you peep the exit polling done, right. So even though the DNC didn't do exit polling, other people did exit polling, and what they found was in precincts that had used voting machines, Pete Buttigieg got double digits. He did double digits better than he did in precincts that used paper ballots. When they can like track the ballots and they know what's going on, right? He was in like 36% in precincts that used the machines, and then he was in the low 20s in the places that use paper ballots, right? So they rigged that election. They rigged that contest. They rigged Iowa through the app and through the suppressing of the night before when they suppressed the poll and just the coin flips and all that. We could just go down the line. The whole shit was rigged, right? So Tom Perez says that there will be no shenanigans in Nevada, which I think that it would behoove them for that to be the case because all eyes are going to be on them. And also Bernie, the margin is so great already. Nobody's going to believe if he wins by 4 or 5 points. They're going to be like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like he has to win by double digits in Nevada for it to be believable that you didn't tamper with the shit. So I think he's going to smash in Nevada that's going to be his first real state where they didn't really fuck with it. And once people see that, it's going to give people the right to vote for him because a lot of people are handcuffed by this fake notion of electability, which is just a manufactured term that means absolutely nothing when you get down to it. So that's going to happen. That's going to give people in South Carolina a reason to vote for him, and then they're going to vote for him in South Carolina, and I think he's going to win in South Carolina, and I'm hoping he ends up winning it outright. But like I said, they're going to continue to rig the elections. They're going to rig California. California is already rigged right now, in a lot of ways. But voting machines, pretty much, if voting machines are involved, you're fucked. in California has a bunch of voting machine precincts. And then a lot of people being purged from the ballots when you go vote. People who registered Democrat, for 2-3 election cycles, they're gonna go vote on Super Tuesday, and they're gonna find out their name's not on the ballot, and they're gonna be like, give me a crossover ballot, and they're gonna be like, nope, we don't have any. You gotta take this provisional ballot, and provisional ballots don't count unless it's a recount at the very end, and so basically they don't count. They're going to cheat him in California. They're going to cheat him in Texas. They're going to cheat him. They're going to cheat him. They're going to cheat him. They're going to suppress the vote. He's going to win these states, but it's not going to be by the margins that he should be winning them by, where he just, because all you have to do is just cut him here and there. You know what I'm saying? You got to cut him here and there. You don't. It's not like you're going to do like some shit like they did during Vietnam. When during their elections back in Vietnam, back in the 60s, where the person who won stole the election and cooked the books to where he won by 99% or some crazy. Like, they're not going to do that kind of stuff, right? They're going to cut the edges here and there where they can, and then lo and behold, when it's all said and done, just like they did in Iowa, just like they did in New Hampshire, they just keep it close where Bernie doesn't win by, where he doesn't get 60% of the delegates. Instead he gets 30% of the delegates, right? And if they do that enough times in enough states, especially in specific states like California and Texas, then there's no way for him to win the majority, right? And then they're going to go to the convention, and they are going to rob him.
Right.
That is what I think is going to happen. But and the left, the progressive base of the Democratic Party, people like you and me, who we don't belong in we don't belong to. Like, I'm not a Democrat. You know what I'm saying? I'm a registered Democrat right now, so I can vote in the Democratic primary. But as soon as the primary is over with, I'm going to go to the Socialist Party of America, which that's the party I belong to. So, but I vote green most of the time. I'm weird. Don't ask me because the shit's so fucked up. I don't got nobody to vote for.
People aren't worried about a fucking party. People worry about
the candidate,
the fucking issues, their fucking kitchen table issues, and it's how they're being handled. I
just don't like to be I don't like for my name to be on a roll sheet to bolster their numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to hurt them as much as I can. So I'm like, take me off your fucking list. I don't want to be associated with y'all janky motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. But they're gonna that I think the chances of them fucking Bernie over is right now, in my mind, I would have to say 60-40. They're gonna rob him. 40% is high though that he's going to win. I think that's a high percentage considering all things considered. I think that's a high percentage, but yeah, I think they're going to fuck Bernie. And I think ultimately the person that's going to come out is going to be Bloomberg, because he bought the party at this point. And I hope that I'm wrong about that. Obviously, I'm not. So
what do you think the ultimate backlash of Bloomberg winning was?
If they give Bloomberg the nomination?
Yeah.
I think what's going to happen is that the party itself is going to be destroyed. I think it's going to be a mass exodus. I think that a lot of people are going to go independent. A lot of people are going to go switch over to Republican. I got a buddy that said straight up, he was like, if they cheat Bernie, I just want to see this whole thing burn down. I'm gonna vote for Trump.
I'm not doing the Brexit shit because I'm not with that shit. I already those motherfuckers is crazy as fuck. And I'm not doing the never Trumper. The never Trumpers. They're like doing the Brexit shit is like, it's like doing the never Trumper shit, and then the motherfuckers be like, the Democratic Party be hugging these never Trumper cats. Like, no, they're Republicans that don't like Trump.
Yeah, they just don't like Trump.
Yeah. So, but I'm not gonna do the Brexit shit because these fucking black people that are going over to the Republican Party, like,
why would you leave?
It's because it's a false dichotomy created by the media that you have to either be Republican or Democrat if you're interested in politics or if you are politically active at all.
But the majority of people are
the majority of people are independent. The majority of people are not really politically active.
Yeah.
So really, when they talk about the Brexit shit, they're trying to get
black people,
adamant black Party, Democrats to go to the Republican Party because people still they're still going to vote and they still want to maintain a political identity.
And those people, those Brexit people, I guarantee you, if you do the polling on that, it's going to be black men. It's going to be
black men, and Candace Owens.
Yeah, Candace Owens is like the one representation of that. Bloomberg can't even hold his weight in a debate. In a debate, I see no feasible way he wins a nomination.
I do. I see a feasible way.
I just described the way that he's going to win a nomination.
He can buy the fucking.
He bought it. He already bought the DNC.
Like, look, there's already reports of people leaving other people's campaigns
to go work
for
Michael Bloomberg,
including
people on Bernie's fucking team, right. South Carolina.
Dude said he was gonna. Yeah, I'll vote for Bernie, but I got to get this money.
Yeah,
money.
Roka told that story. I was like,
yeah, cash rules everything around me.
That shit's crazy, man. So because Bloomberg is paying people double, and he's paying people through November.
So even if he
loses in May, he's still gonna pay you through November, and he's paying you double what you made.
And the funny thing is, he's not. Okay. You think he's not even just like, oh, I'm paying you. Like, he's gonna write them checks after the thing's over. He's gonna write them checks.
Yeah, probably ain't gonna
them payroll
monthly.
Them payroll checks is going. You know why? Because he's gonna be running. He's gonna be campaigning on behalf of somebody after that's over.
And it ain't gonna be Bernie because he said Bernie is crazy. I know he said that, but I don't know. I doubt he's gonna. I doubt he's gonna help Bernie Sanders.
I don't. Yeah, and I think.
He has nothing but contempt for Bernie Sanders and his policies.
Absolutely.
And Bernie hates
That's the only reason he's running.
That's the only reason.
If Bernie wasn't getting any traction, if Bernie just had a heart attack and said, I can't do it no more and dropped out, it would have been no Bloomberg run.
Speaking of heart attacks, I thought it was really funny when they had the exchange about the health records that Bernie released right after he had the heart attack.
In December,
October.
It was end of October.
Yeah, it was the end of October. Yeah, he released it. He released it. So, but I thought it was hilarious when Bernie just like nonchalantly pointed out, like, like, hey, in Bloomberg, you had a couple stints put in, and Bloomberg was like, yeah, over 25 years ago, like that's better. And I was like, nigga, Bernie he got some fresh ones. This shit got the fresh new stint smell on him still, right. Bro.
They got new stint technology.
They got the new stint technology. Nigga,
you got that memory foam stint.
You got the PS1, brother. This nigga got a PS5, dog. Right. He out here living in 3D. So I thought that was hilarious.
We're gonna wrap this up pretty soon, but I just want to make an astute point for people that just don't understand. Maybe you don't know who to vote for. Maybe you're trying to understand a candidate who's actually working for Black people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you just do the eye test, if you ain't got time, I don't got time to listen to no platform, no debates. I don't do none of this shit. Mm-hmm. I know I'm going to vote because whatever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I just need to know what's going on. Listen. Look at the leadership. Just look at the leadership, the Black people, the Black leadership around Bernie Sanders. Mm-hmm. You got, first of all, spearheaded by Nina Turner, who is a Black Person of the Year. If you had a vote for such, Black Person of the Year, Nina Turner. Mm-hmm. That's who would get my vote. You got a Breonna Joy Gray. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You got
Cornel West.
You got Cornel West. What's the other young lady he's got working his campaign?
He got a lot of them.
So
he got the doctor.
Yeah, it's just right. It's just that, and these people, they gravitate towards him, mm-hmm.
And
work for him, and he literally has the best people
easily. Because he don't got the. I mean, he got the most money under Bloomberg. What I'm saying, like, you see how much money, like. Bloomberg has to spend $1 billion to do what Bernie Sanders is doing with $20 million, on a grassroots level. You know what I mean? Or $100 million.
But the whole point is because I know a lot of people are rightfully skeptical of politicians, and if you're Black, and that's fine. But he's not fooling. These are Black. He's not fooling these Black people.
Yeah,
these are people he could not fool,
and he ain't paying them.
Right. These people are the real deal, Holyfield. You know what I mean? As far as. If you don't think Bernie care about Black people, they care about Black people.
True. By default, you should trust them, even if you don't. Yeah. But a lot of I totally agree.
You know what
totally agree with that.
And the fire, the passion, the organization, the you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That the time and effort that they're expending to be a part of this campaign, that impresses me sometimes more than the things Bernie says.
Yeah, absolutely. I listen to his. I've heard Bernie Sanders speak so many times that I don't even listen to Bernie Sanders speak anymore. I'll be honest with you. Like, I don't watch his rallies anymore. Like, when he speaks, I don't watch it. Mm-hmm. I watch when AOC talks. I watch when Ilhan Omar talks. I watch when Rashida Tlaib talk. I watch when especially when Nina Turner's talking. Yeah. I watch when John Cusack is talking, when Michael Moore is talking. Like, these are the people that I end up watching more than Bernie Sanders because they say they come from a different angle and they say it differently than him. But they do, they say
they're on the message.
They're on the message though. But I've heard Bernie Sanders' message. I've been hearing his message now for 5 years straight.
And he's doing what a politician's supposed to do. Sound like a broken record.
Yeah, I love that. I'm not knocking.
Definitely.
If you need to hear it. But I heard it so much the first time around that now I'm like, I got it, right? Like I got it. I don't need to keep hearing it.
Right. If you hear me talk on the radio or on Tyrone's show or something like that, I'm saying the same thing.
Yeah, I say the same shit. I say
the same thing I say the same thing Bernie be saying. Mm-hmm. I use the same statistics. I use the same things. Yeah. Why? Because that's the message.
Yeah, the message is the message. It's legit. It's not about following him or whatever. It's just the message is what it is. The numbers don't lie. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I get into these conversations with people a lot of times when I'm talking like, because I used to do this. I used to present things like a lot of like statistical like facts to people. Right, like I would post like numbers, especially when I was going heavy on Twitter. I used to be like trolls. Like I used to be like just battling trolls, like swatting them. I was doing it for practice almost. Like I just would do it to be sharper. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't have a voice. I wasn't doing this years ago. I wasn't doing this, so I was just like giving it to people. Right, and I was here you go, read that, read. And then people, I know, like the more I did that, I realized like people don't read that stuff, especially in a debate. Like if you just post something, some people will read it because they're interested and some people won't. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that is what it is. But the vast majority of time when you're debating a person it's not even a debate because I really don't like debating people about certain things. Like if they're debating me, they feel like they're debating me. You know what I'm saying? Like they think there's a chance that like in this debate, I'm going to be like, in this exchange, and I'm going to be like, oh, you know what? You're right. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I already know going into it, what I'm saying is the truth. Like, I already know. Like, I'm like, this is the truth. Like, I wouldn't even talk about this if I didn't have the statistics to support what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So I get into a lot of these discussions with people like time and time again, where they're telling me how they feel about something that could be easily, like, look, these are the numbers, right? And then you just accept it or you know what I mean? Like at that point, it's just like you accept it or you don't. And then when you show them the numbers, they still don't accept it. They still like say, well, it could be. And I'm like, all right, well, I don't. So, and this is not, I mean, like, this is a consistent thing that I experience with a lot of people, man. Like, it's not like one piece. It's like the same people. Not the same people. It's the same thing with different people over and over and over again. People don't want to hear numbers. So the way that I approach it now is I try to come at it from a point of you damned if you do, you damned if you don't, by the way. I'm gonna say that beforehand, because I try to approach it from the standpoint of like I'm just telling you, like I'm just talking to you, like we're just talking to you right now. We're not, we doing all of this stuff. I could have been putting up clips, I could have been posting, showing y'all the statistics in the corner. Maybe we should be doing that on this platform. Maybe that we probably should do that. I'll take that back. But we didn't do that tonight. We do it sometimes. Tonight we did it, whatever. But when I'm online and I'm having these exchanges and I do that, the vast majority of time, people don't accept it. You know what I'm saying? Like they just don't accept it. I got into it with somebody one day about like we just talked about rigging elections, right? And there is a lot of ways an election can be rigged, right? And this person is like he's a white liberal, you know what I'm saying? So when we were talking about it, he's a straight up like staunch Democrat. Like, I'm a Democrat, I'm blue through and through. And he didn't want to hear that the party was rigging the election. You know what I'm saying? He trusts the party. So he's like, how was it rigged? Like, he got defensive like right off the bat when I told him, like, I mean, well, the shit's rigged. Like, it's like to us in our circles, that is like, of course we know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like a no duh kind of thing at this point to us, right? Even Donald Trump is saying that the election is rigged. Even Donald Trump is saying that right now as we speak about the DNC. Even Sarah Sanders Huckabee Sanders will get on and say, so even the right, even what's his name? Tucker Carlson will say that it's being rigged, right? Even Van Jones will say, don't steal this election from Bernie Sanders. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not me. Like, it's not Robert. Like, it's out there. The cat is out of the bag, right? It's really obvious now. It was harder when it happened in 2016, but now it's harder. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now it's easier. Now it's out. So when I'm talking to this person, they didn't want it. When I presented all of this evidence to them, I've shown them articles, and of course you're not going to get in mainstream media. You're not going to get because they can't do that. You're not going to get an article where it just comes out and says election was rigged. They can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know, like, no matter if it's a real legitimate outfit, they're not going to do that. Even the Intercept, which is like the most progressive news, you know what I'm saying, news print outlet out there, as far as I'm concerned, right? Jacobin. Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know. I fucks with the Intercept, whatever.
Yeah, but I fuck with the Intercept.
Yeah, but what? Yeah,
Aaron Matei and all them.
Yeah, Aaron Matei. Gray Zone, hard as hell. So even them, they wouldn't come out and say it was rigged. They won't say that. They'll just give you they'll just be like, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. And then
what do you think?
And then what do you think, right? And then the natural conclusion should be, yeah, the shit's rigged. So that's another thing that's another issue that we run into when we talk to people. Is like, we'll give them like all the fucking evidence, and then they still are like they need for you to go, they need like it to be in print, like election was rigged.
Right.
And it's like, dude, that's not how it happened. So I said all that to say this. I really want people to we want to help people. You know what I'm saying? People help us, we get help from people. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all just trying to help each other to learn and grow, right? It's not about, I'm not trying to be right, or I don't give a fuck about being wrong. I bet like that's one of the reasons how I ended up in a place to where I was right more than I was wrong, is because I was wrong so much. And I got tired of being wrong, but I also started listening to the motherfuckers when they would tell me I was wrong, and I would be like, okay, yeah, you know what? That's right. You know what I mean? I started researching for myself. So that's what we have to get on as a people. We need to get on more of the like research tip. You know what I'm saying? And get out of our feelings or whatever, because I feel like a reason why it's taking so long for people to hop on the Bernie Sanders train or whatever the case may be is because they aren't researching. They aren't investigating. They're waiting for somebody just to tell them that, like, he's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't gonna happen like that. Like, you're gonna have to deduce for yourself what the truth is, right?
Mm-hmm.
The real from the fake. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to leave y'all with, is like, let's get on that. Let's start to do the research, and then you know, I think the tide will turn if we start to do that.
I think that also the good result of that, especially in the Black community, would be actual true real political discourse on a real level, because it's hard to find.
It is hard to find that
true political discourse, and I always tolerate. I say I tolerate because half of the conversations that I have, you just around them, these are people you would not want to fucking talk to if they were that disrespect, like they're that disrespectful at the time.
Yeah.
But I tolerate those types of things just in hopes that I can move the needle toward, make them think like, you know what? Okay, I don't agree with this motherfucker, but maybe I should learn how to solidify my points. You know what I mean? Like, just in the sake of discourse. A lot of stuff doesn't get done, and a lot of ideas in the Black community don't get refined properly because we don't know how to debate with one another.
Yeah,
truly. That's why I always, if you know me, if you're ever on my Facebook page, or anything like that, if you argue with me too much, I'm going to challenge you to a real fucking debate.
Yeah,
and that usually shuts motherfuckers up, because the prospect of having to actually back up what they're saying with facts, and the prospect of having to actually write something down or read a fucking book scares you niggas.
Or be seen.
Yeah, show your face, because half you niggas is trolling, half you niggas don't read, and you just want to fucking argue with me. So. And that's if the shoe fits, wear it type of shit. Nigga, don't get fucking
that's
mad.
What I'm saying.
I'm not talking about
the shit that we experience be shit that we it happens to us a lot because we do this a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I intentionally do this. Like I'm not trying to get in those conversations. I'm not trying to. I don't want to argue. You know what I mean? Like that's not what it's about. But I don't give. But I also will. You know what I mean? Like
my comment is my comment. Like it's a public forum. I make a comment, and then it starts an argument because
a lot of people be arguing.
I guess because all my words are spelled correctly or something. I don't know what the problem is, but hey, guess what? That's fine. You know what I mean? But learn how to disagree with somebody for real.
Yeah, absolutely.
Learn how to disagree. You don't have to agree with me. I know that a lot of the shit that I'm saying is unpopular to certain groups, sections of the Black community.
Yeah.
But learn how to disagree with somebody because it's very rarely somebody approaches me with facts. And usually if they do, they're usually not a Black person, which is so cold about it.
That shit.
And it sucks because I really don't have time for a lot of people arguing with them. And I usually take time for my brothers and sisters, and you know what I mean? And these other cats, they got the facts, and I got to refute them on some shit, and I really don't be wanting to talk to them, and that's real.
We got bigger fish to fry, but hey, we out of here. We gonna see. Oh, real quick, hey, I did I interviewed Ben Dixon yesterday. Mm-hmm. Y'all go check it out. It's on YouTube. It's on Soapbox Heroes on YouTube. Go check that out.
It was a great interview.
Thank you, appreciate that, sir. I posted it on my Facebook page as well. I'm going to do a watch party for it. It was a great interview. If you guys don't know who Ben Dixon is, Ben Dixon was the guy who broke the Michael Bloomberg tape when he spoke at the Aspen institution. And Michael Bloomberg made those comments when he said you could take you could basically Xerox the profile of Black and brown men being the perpetrators and the victims being a major 95%. Of the perpetrators of violent crimes and so on and so forth, and that whole fiasco.
He tried to explain stop and frisk and why he had so many police officers in the Black community.
Yeah, and Ben Dixon is he's a great podcaster and a great writer and an activist. Yeah. And you guys should go check out his show as well as Ben Dixon, the Benjamin Dixon podcast.
So if you haven't checked the Benjamin Dixon show out, man, you are in for a treat. Absolutely, it's a stunning show.
Yeah.
He talks about the political climate in a way that is unapologetically Black, mm-hmm. first of all, but secondly, also very thoughtful. And it's very thoughtful, very well thought out. And you should definitely take your time to just check that out as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Please. All right, man. We're gonna get with y'all next week, and I will be posting the clips as well from the Ben Dixon show coming up here. I mean, from the episode we did with Ben Dixon. But appreciate y'all hanging in there with us, and we're gonna see y'all next week.
All right, peace.